Hello everybody, Adam Libman here, and in this video I'd like to talk about this idea of revenue goals and revenue milestones. So right now we are in the month of January of 2020, or at least when I'm recording this, and this is the time of year when a lot of companies plan what they want their goals for revenue to be. You know, some people have this goal or that goal, and it's oftentimes never discussed that there's idea of these revenue milestones that if you don't kind of go within plus or minus about 7% of these revenue milestone goals, is that you are likely to lose money and you're actually likely not to be profitable. And it's because that as we grow as a business, we raise our capacity, and what happens is that every level of operational capacity has a corresponding level of revenue that it can generate. And there's always an efficient level and an inefficient level. And it's in most cases, people either grow too much or not enough. They're kind of not in that sweet spot. So what I want to do is go over some of the typical revenue milestone numbers. Oh, it's my wife calling. Hold on. All right, I wonder if that recorded saying hi to my wife. Anyway, hopefully it didn't. But anyway, there's a couple of revenue milestones that I want to go over today because I just think it's really important. Okay, the first big revenue milestone is $100,000, and I consider that to be a freelance per diem consultant. Essentially, you, an individual, does consulting, it's possible to get in that sweet spot of right about $100,000 without too much. You know, you can still work at Starbucks. You know, you don't need an office at that point. There's just certain things that you don't need office rent, you don't need an assistant. There's a lot of things that you can do all by yourself at that kind of level. The next level is $300,000. And at this level, now you have an assistant, you have some marketing going on, you've got rent, you've got some payroll, you've got a little auto, you've got a little travel. Again, now you've expanded, right? The next revenue marker for there is $1 million gross. And at this point, essentially what you've done is you've built a bigger staff, more infrastructure, a more robust marketing campaign. And that's kind of the first tier of a small business owner. The next level up is 3 million. Then we got 7 million and about 25 million. And what I found over and over again is that if an owner is not committed to going to the next level, so let's just say you're at 1 million, you damn well better go to 3. Don't go to 2. Don't go to 2. Don't go to 2.2, 2.3. You got to go to 3. And if you're at 3, you got to go to 7. And if you're at 7, you got to budget for 25. 7 million to 25. And that's because there's this relationship between revenue and expenses, and it's very easy to go to what I call the death zone, right? The death zone. So, and that's in relationship to Mount Everest, where essentially you can go so far up the mountain, and then there's a certain level where the oxygen gets very thin, and essentially you have to go from a certain level of revenue really quick. Otherwise, if you stay in that kind of zone too long, you're going to die because your expenses are going to be far greater than you can support. So anyway, I just want to kind of mention that. If you're planning on growing your business, you just need to be very aware of these revenue growth markers. Otherwise, it's highly possible that you could be growing dangerously, because there's 2 types of growth, and they're both dangerous. One is called cancer, where you grow too fast, so you cannot support yourself and you burn out of cash because you just can't sustain that level of growth so fast. Or you grow too slow, and again, cash flow then becomes a problem as well, and you kind of have the same problem in reverse. But anyway, I just want people to be sensitive to that as you kind of make your revenue goals. You know, it's like, okay, if you're in these in-between zones, the goal is how do you go from let's say from 1 million to 3 million in the quickest, fastest possible way. And the most important thing that I consider is that you have enough cash flow, enough cushion, enough oxygen to get from point A to point B. Otherwise, you're fucked. And I see a lot of businesses go out of business, even though they're high grossing, simply because they just ran out of oxygen. They ran out of cash. So anyway, if you're interested in growing a healthy way, a healthy clip, feel free to give me a call, 626-280-6865. Take care. Bye-bye.